delete from our consciousness and once more know our true birthright. That's why the saints say what? God alone. God alone. Imagine it. When you go within, you will find that the whole universe is created out of your own consciousness. You are made in the image of God. I say ye are gods. Therefore, your nature is, your real self within is God the Father. That's what we must know. Then, death is the beginning of a conscious existence with God. And so the great saints say, God alone. Have that state of God alone. Lord Shankar said, I am He, blissful Spirit, I am He. Jesus said, I and my Father are one. How to attain this state? How to attain it? You know the way. Follow self-realization yoga, which will baptize you daily in Christ within, in God the Father within. And then it will not be long before this worldly consciousness will drop off and the realization of your oneness with God. Thou and I never apart. Thou and I never apart. Finally, I am He. I am He. Blessed Spirit, I am He. That is what we must do. Then you will find within a consciousness only of God the Father, or the consciousness of your own self as God the Father. I'd like to close by reading a little bit of a letter from the Master which shows his wonderful wisdom, in which we can apply to this talk this morning. Infinite are the ways in which the sly deluder wants to test me. But he says, anyway, never mind, I will be game to the occasion. And I am constantly asking power from him, that he may keep me surcharged with his power to come out successfully through this test. God alone is doing it. The mistake we make is we identify ourselves with worldly consciousness, which must die. We must know God alone. Then he goes on to say, don't forget, he is your Father. He is your Father, every one of you. My Father. Same Father, impartial. He is with us. Infinitely kind to you, more than anybody else. Why shouldn't we know him? Why shouldn't we put our faith in him? Then there'll be no death. There'll be surely no second death once knowing God the Father. So the Master says, don't forget he is your Father, as well as mine, he meant to say. Infinitely kind to you more than anybody else. You put your faith in this worldly consciousness, you'll be deluded. You'll be disappointed. You put your faith in people, you'll be disappointed. That's the law, whether you like it or not. If you put your faith in God, you will not be disappointed. Because it is God who is in you, who is doing the whole show. Know him, then there'll be no death. We must know him. So the Master says, don't forget, he is your Father, infinitely kind to you, more than anyone else. And finally, he said, he might have said, if you want to know death and take away the sting of death and all fears of death, he might have said, forsake all, yet leave not his side. Isn't that wonderful, beautiful words that he said? I always remember that was written back in 23. So when I was swept away in delusion, as we all are at times, I'd remember the words, leave everything, but don't leave God. And so I'd hustle and get hold of God. Hang on to that. And then there will be no death. Death will then be the beginning of a conscious, eternal, blissful existence, which is God the Father in us.
In order to profit from these practical teachings in a meaningful way, which will have a definite and tangible impact in your life, we suggest that you subscribe to the Self-Realization Fellowship's home study course on the science of yoga. Please visit the SRF on the web at yogananda-srf.org or call the SRF's Mother Center in Los Angeles, California at 323-225-2471.